Yeah, the difference between physical and virtual computing. Here, the physical computing, where the physical computers we can physical personal computers and laptops, and then company servers and data centers. We can where we can able to touch and feel the physical pulse. That's going to the physical computing. Uh, uh, Service is kind of a powerful computers, and the laptops and then our personal computers are we are using our personal use. Then both physical servers and personal computers both are working on operating systems, and both are having running applications. Difference between personal computer and servers, one of the main example is OS actually means a difference, where the personal computer we will use Windows 10 and 11 for um, from the Microsoft company, and then for Apple we will use Mac 26 and 27 for Mac OS we will use for Apple laptops. In case of servers, uh, the purpose of the server OS is it's totally different from our personal computers, where we are using Microsoft Windows Server 22 and then 25 we are using in the kind of Linux server, and then Unix OS we are using normally for generic purpose of the personal computer and servers actually. If when we are consider an example, we are going to creating a website for the supermarket, and the project is going to be done by company XYZ actually, where the supermarket we are using the laptops or physical computers they are using. Consider that as a personal computer or official computers actually. It's does not have higher configurations where we are going to be where we are having in servers actually. The company is going the application or website is going to be developed or configured in the company XYZ. They are having the high-end server rooms and then high-end servers and then data centers they are having actually. And then the servers will does not run for only for one applications. The server have a kind of they will work for many applications. Yeah. Limitation of the physical computing. Actually, for physical computing, we need to maintain that's having the higher maintenance cost and then higher infrastructure cost actually, which is including the building, the location, and then rent, and then cooling and electricity charges. All those charges are having for running the data centers or high-end servers. Virtualization is nothing. It's a kind of a process where we can able to use the multiple virtual machine in the single physical server actually. This normally server performances based on the configuration of the server. Consider we need to use kind of five machines we need to use of five personal computers as machines we need to be used. We can consider we can use this five um, directly consider as from the five servers, or otherwise one single high-end configuration physical server. We can through the virtualization we can able to use the high five virtual machines. We can use five virtual machines actually, where hypervisor is a kind of software is going to be installed in the high computing physical server actually. Through the hypervisor software, we can able to create a five virtual machines. We can able to create in one physical high computing server actually. Visual is the process of creating virtual computers in software level. Oracle VirtualBox is one of the hypervisors free software. We can able to create a virtualization or multiple virtual machines in one physical server actually. Yeah. Then this is the difference between physical computing and virtual computing. Physical computing is nothing but it's a kind of standalone server. We are going to be run the applications in the own CPU, RAM, and storage and network interfaces. The hardware is only dedicated to the hardware is only dedicated to the one operating system and one workload actually. Here the performance we are going to get the higher performance because of the resources of the hardware is not going to be shared with any other machines actually. We will have the high security and then strong isolation, because the machine is not going to share with any other. It's not going to be shared with any of the virtual machines or any other machines. It's not going to be shared with. Predictable behavior we can able to get because of the dedicated resource allocation. Yeah, in kind of virtual computing, uh, by the help of the hypervisor software, hypervisor installed applications, we are going to create a we are going to create a multiple virtual machines in one physical server actually. Each virtual machine behave like a independent computer with its own OS and its applications. The virtual machine is a software-based replica of physical server actually. In one physical server, by using the hypervisors installed applications, we can able to use, for example, we can able to use 5 virtual machines without any issues. The overall the performance of the virtual machines based on the physical hardware configurations. Multiple vis- um, Multiple virtual machines share the same hardware, improving resources utilization and reduce cost, which enables flexibility, such as running different OSs on the same host. And then we can able to scale the number of virtual machines easily, which is not going to happen in kind of physical computing. And then when to use physical computing, you need to the maximum performance, strict isolation, and support for legacy systems. Virtual computing can be used if you need to use the higher virtual machines for scalability purpose, and then it should be cost effective. And then in the same hardware, we can able to contribute multiple workloads. In that case, we can go for physical computing, virtual computing. Personal computer is specially designed for browsing or office work, and it's a very particular environment or any single person use. We can personal computer is designed actually. The hardware is mostly based on the performance and the cost effective. Performance cost effective. Um, uh, it's a kind of a consumer grade CPUs and then moderate RAMs and then storage, standard storage we will use actually. Only one user can able to use at the same time. In kind of standard storage for personal files and then applications. In kind of physical servers, we need to use store and then manage and distribute data, which should have the higher end of network applications also it should have actually. Server hardware uses powerful multiple core processor. The server hardwares are going to be multi core processor, higher processors, higher RAMs, higher storage, and then advanced networking to handle more users at the same time. Many users or systems are going to be interact or going to be used the physical server at the single time. Yeah, then it can able to large or scalable arrays for high volume data access through and management. Client OS and desktop OS. Another difference between physical means a personal computer and servers is the OS is the another one major difference actually. For kind of client or desktop OS, we are going to use Windows and Mac OS. And then for front-end usually Linux OS we are going to use, which is graphical, user friendly for interactive use for the persons who are going to be used for the laptop or computers. Focused on personal computing tasks actually for browsing or office work or normal works, it will be going to be used actually. The hardware is going to be cost effective, and then it going to be interact with regular or manageable devices like printers, cameras, and then monitors, other connecting display devices is going to be used actually. It's not going to be used for it's going to be modern hard work. It's not designed for heavy concurrent workloads actually. It's not going to be operate for 24 bar 7. It's not going to be used actually. In kind of server OS, it's instead of GUI interactions, mostly it will be optional for security and background purposes. Normally Windows Server and Ubuntu Server and Cyant OS is going to be used for server OSs actually, and then designed to run on server-grade hardware and to provide centralized services such as authentication, file sharing, database, and web hosting to multiple clients simultaneously. Manages network resources, content client machines and background services, prioritizing stability, uptime, and security over the interface features. The OS supports high performance hardware, large memory, and multi-core processor to handle many simultaneous requests actually. Virtualization. Virtualization is the process to create a number of virtual machines on the one physical server by using hypervisor software actually. The hypervisor sits between hardware and virtual machines. It allocates CPU, RAM, and storage to each virtual machines. Each virtual machines runs its own operating system and applications, just like standalone computer. Two types of hypervisor types are there. One is which is going to be run on the hardware itself, but another one it's going to be act as on the existing OS actually. Um, Example, the VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox, we can able to use as a separate applications on the another OS actually. But AWS EC2 is helpful is for type 1 bare hypervisor types. Yeah, thank you.